the people, what do they need right now? And
Right.
what they needed is hope. And I think the whole world right now, there are so many bad things happen. But we're always so much into that negativity. So we wanted to give good vibes to the people. We want to give hope. We want to say, no, it's not everything is bad. And you can make a change. And so this is really important for us to have a positive twist in the songs.
Welcome to the rodeo.
Lisa and Ben of April Art, thank you for your time. How are you doing?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
We're doing good.
Great. Yes, we are right in the rehearsal area right before we start our tour next week, and of course our release of our upcoming album, Rodeo.
Yeah. Well, as we're talking, we are like a week away. How's I know this is, let's call this release a waterfall release. There've been lots of singles at regular times. It's an approach that we see more and more, but it does kind of like stretch out this whole release cycle of an album. It like you must feel like you're never really off in a way. So how does next week feel? Like, are you like, okay, let's get there already, or are you still kind of excited for that final album to come out?
Yeah, we're very excited. It's like the final step to let out all the songs and to finish the whole picture, And we're very looking forward to that. It's very exciting. The singles always give you kind of a impression what the people think about the new style, and now we are very excited what the people say about the rest.
Yeah, and we also created a whole new show, a whole new live show, and this is really exciting for us, and so.
Doubt is back, bringing on its pain. What should fade like sun follows rain.
A third album is a special one. It's the Master of Puppets, is the number of the beast. Is when you started this roller coaster, well, I mean, a long time ago at this point now, but was there a little voice in the back of your head that goes like, well, this is the third one, so this is kind of the album that most bands define their sound, and the classic album in 10 years from now? Was there a little bit that pressure for you?
No.
Not before.
No.
We heard a lot of this in the interviews we did the last weeks. So we thought about it more and more. But before, while we were writing the album, there were no thoughts like that.
No, we didn't think about that before. But I would say that this maybe could be true, because for us it's a really special album, because I would say in this journey we are right now on the point where we can say we are absolutely in this record. We are absolutely feeling 100% that this is April Art, and we are really, really happy with this album and how it comes out, and
feels like we have reached our true sound and musical emotion that we represent as musicians and persons.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Now, which is also important because this is the album that you guys are setting your sights beyond the borders of Germany, let's say, or I mean, let's include Austria and Switzerland to Germany for a second. But because you guys are already somewhat of an established name in Germany, you've played the big festivals. You do a lot of engagement, a lot of your content also today still is in German when you're posting on socials and what have you. Now you're talking to people from all over the world, so it's clear that with this album you want to go bigger than that. That requires also a change in your strategy and plan, because you're not going to conquer North America with German Instagram posts, for example. Not trying to take the magic of rock and roll away for a few seconds, and let's go down to like the business side of things. Like how has that approach changed, and are you working with like a different team for going forward to make April Art more established internationally?
We always had the idea to maybe tour some time in the whole world. That was always a dream for us. But it definitely changed because our team is bigger than before. We have a label partner called Reaper Entertainment, and we are really happy with them. But still touring just in Germany right now, and so it's freaky, of course, because we're talking a lot of with a lot of people around the whole globe, and this is absolutely crazy for us because we are just touring here, and of course having the most shows. I'm talking in German, and it's
developing. It's a phase. You know, we're dreaming of coming out in different countries, and we were in different countries. We were as a support act. We have toured through Spain and France, for example, and we were at the 70,000 Tons of Metal this year in Miami. So we have some touch points with other countries, but it's still very difficult for us, very expensive to play in these countries, and we just feel to first develop our base in Germany, and then we hopefully very soon can come out in other countries. But it's a process. We just some postings we're doing in English, but it's not so many.
Yeah, most of our fans are German, so they are really happy that we are talking German.
Oh,
but
for sure,
But we know that we have to grow this.
Yeah, to make more English posts and talk more in English. But it's for a German band, it's not that easy to talk in English
and to feel natural about the postings. And so, but it's a process, but we will push that forward.
For sure.
I'm not sorry.
Now that you're going to be introduced to so many more people, it's just a reality. There's going to be a ton of people, Lisa, that will call you April when they meet you for the first time, and think that you're that it's you, that you're the face of the band, and all those things are going to happen, and that might lead to some frustration as well when Ben might get less questions all of a sudden than you, right? Is that an element that this bigger team that you mentioned before, that they're coaching you with? Because I've seen it many times before that all of a sudden, a colorful singer with a potentially named band all of a sudden gets 99% of the attention, and everybody else gets pushed to the side a little bit, and that could be tough for a younger band, mentally to get through. Like, is that an element that you're being coached on?
No, I wasn't coached that way, but I would say in the band we are really close friends. All we meet each other. We have had rehearsal right an hour before, and we see us a lot of time, and we are talking about everything. So I feel very comfortable with my team, and they are there for me. So when if there's any struggle or something like that, and I never do interviews alone. Sometimes I do, but most of the time we're doing this together. So I don't have that feeling that this is too hard for me. Yes, of course. Yeah, all eyes on me, or the most of the eyes on me, and I have a special role in the band, of course. But I'm doing okay with that.
And we always try to make it look as a whole, as a band, and not as a singer with but as a band in a classical way, and that's what we try to represent in the social medias and all that stuff. So. But it's normal that people react that way. It is
normal.
Where is April?
Where is April?
At the merch booth, I heard it very often. Where is April?
I'm not sorry that I'm here. You wanna see me falling, but I don't give up.
Now, let's dive into this album. So Rodeo is an interesting album because a lot of bands have been releasing albums this year and the year before, and the year before even, and we can label those albums, those bands, COVID album in a way, because they were often written during COVID or they were established during COVID. And a lot of these albums are the darkest album of that band in their career and deals with a ton of shit. And Rodeo for me is kind of like your anti-COVID album, where you're still, I think, working through all of the shit. But with you guys, it came out in a very different way, where a lot of music that we hear today in our genre is facing those demons and being a little down. You guys were more like, let's pick ourselves up. And there's a ton of like, is it as simple as that, as this is a reaction to a lot of dark stuff everybody had to get through, and we just want to do it with some positivity, or is there a different explanation?
No, that's absolutely the answer of all that things, because we all have that feelings. We all have these times where life is really, really bad. But for us, it's really important that we give our songs and our music a positive twist, because we that was something we were thinking about in the Corona crisis. What can we give the people? What do they need right now? And something what they needed is hope. And I think the whole world right now, there are so many bad things happen, but we're always so much into that negativity. So we wanted to give good vibes to the people. We want to give hope. We want to say, no, it's not everything is bad, and you can make a change. And so this is really important for us to have a positive twist in the songs.
You guys are doing it completely different than most people. You're more colorful than the average metal band. You're definitely more positive than the average metal band. You are mixing and matching more influences or different styles together than the average metal band. And there is a wave, a global wave of like, let's call it upbeat modern metal today that is more colorful than it used to be. But like, when you look at it in yourself, were you then positively surprised that the metal scene has become, it seems, way more open-minded than it used to be? Like it feels to me that today is a better time for April Art than, for example, 15 years ago, where the same band might have a hard time. And I think a good example of that, or a good barometer for that, might be even the Wacken Festival where you played, right?
Yes.
Wacken was always considered this traditionalist place where bands like Blind Guardian and Running Wild would headline. And in the last few years, we see not only yourselves, but like Lord of the Lost, like the Callboy, like those kinds of bands getting not only booked, but getting a great reception by the traditional metalhead. Is that something that surprised you in a way to see?
Yes, of course.
Yes, I would say.
We played the first real metal festival is Rock Harz in Germany. That's really, I would say, classical metal festival, and that was in 2022. And before that, we had thoughts like, oh, let's see how they like us, or should we better drive home? But that was amazing. That was really the point where I start to fall in love with the whole metal scene. For me, it's so important. I love all the metalheads, and how when they are, the darker they are and the more badder they look, you know what I mean? Often they have a so wide and open, warm heart, and so for us it's just an amazing journey we're going through. And
even back in the day in 2022, we had a support tour for Dark Tranquillity and Aziferum, and we had the same thoughts. We thought these are so heavy metal bands. How would the crowd react? And they were also so open-minded and warm. We had such a warm welcome.
Yes, of course.
We were surprised about that for sure.
Yeah. But now we love it. We're really in love with all of this.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you like Insatiable and Dark Tranquility, those are already also two very different bands themselves. You guys have, because of the the eclectic sound, the colorful mix, if you will, you can play with a lot of different bands, and you can also be a little, in a way, like, you can be a bit of a gateway band to metal for more pop-minded rock bands, or even just pop acts that you could also play with. Do you guys? You said like, oh, we're thinking about that tour with Dark Tranquility. Oh, what will the melodic death metal crowd, what will they think of us? Do you guys cater your set to the audience you think you're going to meet, or does any audience get like basically the same experience? Like, you could make a more poppy set and you could make a harder set, right? Like with your music by now. Is that something that you think about?
We thought about this. I remember we thought about this at this tour with Dark Tranquility. We thought which songs are the heaviest and most metal songs, but we tried to put a set together and then recognized we are as we are, and it's difficult to just put us in a certain picture.
Yeah.
We just in a way everyone gets the same, but maybe one or two songs more heavy songs in the one festival, and one or two more poppy songs in the other. Maybe a little adjusting a little bit, but mostly it's the same thing.
Yeah. We like it very energetic, and this is always the same thing. We are a positive, energetic band, and we go out on stage and burn everything down in a good way.
With a smile on our face. With positivity.
So we're having fun, and yeah.
But we're developing in general. Our new album is much more metal than the last one, because we recognize live that the audience likes these parts, and
us too.
Yeah, and us too, of course. Yeah, we just often we had the situation that the crowd was starting a circle pit, and the part was over too early, and we thought this could be longer. Longer, and that's these are influences that we put in Rodeo now.
Yeah, I think a lot of songs we've written on Rodeo, we were thinking about. So let's talk about what do we need for our live shows. So, and that was the idea for Rodeo, for example, for the whole album, I would say.
Yeah.
So this is we tried to bring all this positive life energy to this record.
Yeah. So in other words, when you're going to be playing your upcoming shows, we should expect that sounds really a lot, maybe all Rodeo songs?
Nearly.
I think two songs are not on the set list.
Yet.
Not yet.
We try. But most
Yeah.
I think 80% of this album is in the set, yeah.
And vice versa, is the set completely Rodeo?
Oh yeah, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have turning points. We have an acoustic song, and we have Wild Ride. We have Wild Ride.
We have some really cool dance parts
elements. Yeah.
That I think that was that would be überraschend.
Surprising.
I think.
Surprising.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really wild ride.
Yes, I burn the whole world down.
Well, Ben and Lisa, thank you so much for sharing a little bit the backstory about this album, and giving us some insight on the cool shows that are coming our way. But before all of that happens, we can count down the last week before this album comes out. I hope you guys, in the crazy hectic schedule that is an album release, where you have to do a lot of this, and if you're not doing this, you have to be on your phone the entire time to react to people and sending messages. I hope you guys find some time to take a step back and just enjoy the moment as well.
Thank you.
I hope to see you guys play soon, whether it is in Europe or maybe on another cruise here in North America, or maybe that you guys find yourself onto a North American tour. Hope to see you guys soon, and then we'll catch up again. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
us. That was
us,
fun. Thank
and
you.
yeah.
See you soon.
See you soon, and be patient. We will definitely come to your country one day.
There you go.
Yes, I burn the whole world down.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.